Back in 2001, Gavin Thorpe for GW wrote the game Inquisitor. Inquisitor was set in the 40k universe, but this time it was more of a role-playing game where it followed the band of the Inquisition as they moved through that 40k universe. This game has long been one that I've always been interested in, and I've played semi-regularly since it came out in 2001. A lot of time it's taken the aesthetic that I really enjoy from the 40k universe, and that's the aesthetic that's from the artist John Blanche. And in 2005, John Blanche issued his Inquisitor's sketchbook, which brought together loads of images that could be used when coming up with our aesthetic for this game. So, welcome everybody to this next episode of All About the Bash here on the Odd-Sided Dice podcast YouTube channel. My name's Kieran, and I'm going to talk to you today about inspiration and what we're going to do on these videos going forwards. Now, John Blanche's artwork has been long-standing one of the most inspirational artwork styles that's been available through the pages of magazines, through the pages of rule books and the front covers. Many times, especially in early days of Games Workshop, all the rule books, the magazines such as White Dwarf, etc., would have been packed full of his imagery. So much so that it has led to a quite vibrant community that take a style of hobbying for themselves that has been termed Blanchistu. Now, Blanchistu was first used in a copy of White Dwarf when John Blanche himself was showing off some of his artwork, some of his models he's been painting. And it has stuck around with the whole genre of the painting style, the kit bashing and converting that people come up with. There are many social media outlets that allow people who like this aesthetic to come together, and I'm going to put links to some groups in the description of the video below. So what are we going to do with these series of videos? Well, what I want to do over the next few videos at least is to look at putting together for myself an Inquisitorial warband. Now, this Inquisitor warband will be from the 40k universe, obviously, and it's going to be using a set of standard rules, because what I want to do when this warband is finished, I don't just want it as a showpiece in my cupboard. I want to be able to play it on the table. So that being said, I'm going to look towards using the kill team rules. Now, with the game Inquisitor, the rulebook is still available, although it's quite hard to get a hold of as a physical copy now, but the digital copies are available. Many people within the community, when looking at playing the game, have just reskinned the 54mm rules as they were for the game back in 2001, and have changed the ranges, etc., to make it more suitable for using 28mm figures. There are a number of miniature agnostic rule sets available to us now, Planet 28 being one. There's games like Star Breach, etc. All of these gives you the opportunity to use whatever models you like and just give them an available skin to be able to play them on the table. There's also people under this genre who use the Necromunda rules, because again, Necromunda rules look at small gangs, which the warband would most likely be, rather than a army. But I'm going to use Kill Team, and the reason why I'm going to use Kill Team is a lot of people that I play with have experience of playing Kill Team. And what I want to make sure is when I put this warband together, I don't want it to be too much of a stretch for people to get to play against that warband. So if they've already have experience with rules, I don't want to be introducing new rule sets to them. I want to be taking something existing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through the pages of the core rulebook. I'm going to be using the elites and also the annual, and I'm going to choose the best faction individuals and faction units to create the story of my warband. Now, this is not going to be an exercise in picking what is the best unit. This is not a win at all costs type of exercise. This is just using the different factions to be able to get into my warband the best fit for the idea of that character. I'm not a competitive player at all. I'm a campaign narrative player. So to me, the story that I get to put on the table is far more important than winning a game. So what models am I going to choose? Well, this is what we're going to do going forwards in this series of videos. We're going to look at what is going to inspire how the warband is going to look. And I mentioned it briefly at the start. I'm going to take the John Blanche sketchbook, the Inquisitor's sketchbook. Now, within this sketchbook, there are a number of really beautiful images, ideas, thoughts that John Blanche put together, probably when he was looking at creating a piece of artwork in this genre. You can see that not only are there things like the black priests, there's cultists, there's the Sister Repentias in here, archoflagellants, very many now that we know we have models for. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my kit box. I'm going to use my bits box. And really, I'm going to say to myself that I'm only going to use one kit for this build. Everything else must be taken from my bits box. Now, if you look through the images, you will see in a lot of them, they have those long flowing robes within the pages. And when looking at GW's range, there's only really one that fits that aesthetic. And that's the Necromunda kit for House Delac. You can see here that the bodies on these figures is very close to the look that John Blanche was going for in a lot of his artwork. So as such, for the majority of the figures in this warband, this will be the base models. And if you look at various of those social media pages that I've put the link to below, you will see a lot of people base their figures on either this kit or the Adeptus Mechanicus kits, and sometimes intermingle the parts together. If you want some more inspiration about how to look at these models, please go and have a look at those social media sites. Please have a look at some of the artwork, and hopefully we can work together over the next couple of months, because I'd really love to see how you guys come up with a warband for yourselves. So saying that, next episode we're going to have a look at our first of the warbands that we're going to look at, and we're going to see little bits and pieces and little ways that I do things going forward. So not only is it looking at the model itself, but I'm also going to either introduce a process or the way I create various bits on the models. So hopefully everybody, even if you aren't following along with the warband build, will be able to take something from those videos. So thanks very much for watching. If you want to keep up with this warband build as it goes, obviously like and subscribe to the video. You can join us on our Facebook group. Just search for Odd-Sided Dice and the link will be in below. And hopefully we'll be able to move together to come up with a really nice warband. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and hope to see you again in the next video.